funny. Okay, let's move over to the main feature of the show today. It's all about customer journey mapping, and our very own marketing amazing expert, Vanessa, is going to talk us through what on earth this thing is. I didn't know. What do we do with it? Why do we care? And lots of other lovely stuff. So if you've got any questions about this, please keep them coming in as Vanessa's talking to us and sharing her insights with us. But yeah, listen in. I've got old school ready. Over to you. Tell us what we need to know in 22 minutes.
I know. Yeah, there is so much. Now, if I'm going to try and get through this in kind of 15 minutes, but if you want the shorter version, about a year ago, but it's in my featured section on my LinkedIn profile, there is a video of me hula hooping for 3 minutes, telling you all about customer journey mapping.
I remember it. Yeah.
So if this is kind of too much and you need a bite size, then I'll tell you to go to my featured section and you'll find me hula hooping on there. I mean, I did think about getting the hula hoop and trying to do it for 15 minutes, but I thought. Anyway, customer journey mapping. So I'm going to tell you what it is, why it matters, and then give you some really actionable insight to draw up your own customer journey map. So first of all, what is it? Very simply, it is the journey that your customer makes from finding you. So from being aware of you and being attracted to you, to them taking action, to making you aware of them. Now, you can create a bigger customer journey map, and I think most companies should, to think from that attraction to action to transaction to implementation to advocacy, and then to retention, where they keep coming back and buying more. That's the bigger customer journey map that you should figure out. But I'm going to talk to you today just about that attraction to action, where the customer gets in contact with you and they know you exist and you know they exist and you can do something about it. I'm going to talk to you about it, particularly about B2B, because I think that's where most of the audience here are from. And I'm going to talk about websites in particular, because that's where a lot of those leads, those inquiries, that's where they fall away, and that's where they're not being captured. So that's what we're going to talk about. So why is it important? Well, it's important because you won't be getting all the leads if there are gaps in your customer journey and your customers are getting lost and going elsewhere. So it's plugging those gaps and capturing those leads. That's what it's all about. And if you think about customer journey mapping, it is about customer experience. It's removing that grit. And I'm going to talk about websites, but if you think about the customer journey offline, what's that like for your customers? Let me give you an example. I went to Glasgow last week. I was going to a meeting in a hotel, and I went onto the hotel website, the digital part of the journey, to find out where I could park, where could I park my car. It gave a recommendation where you could get a discount at the NCP nearby. So obviously that postcode went into my Google map, or the sat nav on the car, to get me there. When I got there in this strange city that I didn't know, the road was closed because they were filming Batman. Oh. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, where am I going to go? City centre traffic. Where do I park? Not sure where the hotel is. I was going to look at that next. Where do I go? It was a really bad customer journey, because then I'm thinking, am I going to be late for this really important meeting? So that's a kind of a digital part of the journey that then transcended to real life. The hotel now, it's a bad reputation for me. I'm not interested in that hotel. They could have very easily changed their website for that day for those customers who are coming to that hotel and just said, beware of roadworks, or use a different. So and another example, just a really quick one, because otherwise we'll be here forever. I used to go and visit one of my suppliers in Liverpool. When they moved office, you had to get to their office by using this 4-lane Is it a dual carriageway when it's got 4 lanes? I don't know. And you would expect that it's a 40 mile an hour zone. It wasn't, it was 30. I went there for the first meeting. I got a speeding ticket. I told them after that I got a speeding ticket, and they said, oh yeah, that happens to so many people. People expect it to be a 30 zone. It's like, well, tell the people who are coming to visit you, beware, that's a 30 zone. Because then when they get to you, they won't be disappointed, they won't be stressed. That's a real life customer journey. But I'm going to talk about the digital way. Sorry,
really good examples, though, to help us understand is we forget on the day or the week that our customers might have never been to us before. Yep. And if there's a problem with our website or something, or there's a problem, they can't get hold of us, maybe our internet's down because there's no electricity. What do? You know, you've got to. Yeah, good. I like those. I'm in.
Okay, so that's the digital to real life version, but we're going to concentrate on the digital today. So we've said what it is. We said why it's important. Now we're going to look at how we create one. Okay, number one, I'm going to number these. It's going to be quick, really simple. You've got to know your customers. Now, you have to think about who your ideal target customers are for your website. And I would say build personas. Don't all jump on me now and say, oh, personas, they're old hat. Does this person have a beard? How many people are in the family? What's his name? Forget that. You can go into that detail if you want, but know specifically who your ideal target customer is, what their pains are, what their difficulties are. If you remember a few weeks ago, we talked about the value proposition, and we looked at that right side of the canvas where we looked at the customer as a whole to understand their difficulties and to pinpoint how we help them. So know their difficulties, know their pain points, know how you help. That's number one, know your customer. Create personas. Number two, know your value proposition. No, you don't have to have the pithy sentence at this point. It's just, why do they come to you? Why do they buy from you? How are you different? And that's really important in creating the messaging that's going to be compelling, that's going to make them inquire. Know your customers, know your value proposition. Number three, and this is the one where a lot of people fail, know the ultimate aim of your website. Is it to attract inquiries? It used to be in the 1990s when we first started creating websites, there were information boards, weren't they? It was a catalogue. Not anymore. It's got to have a focus. It's got to have purpose. And you've got to decide for those key personas, what is the ultimate aim of your website? Is it you want them to phone you? If it is, you've got to have your number there very clear on every page. Is it you want them to book a demo with you? If it is, it's got to be clear there. And this is the whole thing. You've got to make that customer journey so smooth, so easy. People will not search. If that journey is broken and they don't know where they are, they will go off and find a competitor. They'll go and find a journey that's smooth and easy because we're short on time. And this is it. This is why the customer journey is so important now, because customer behavior has changed. We want to inform ourselves. We don't want to be sold to. We want to be able to find the information ourselves and make that decision that we feel is good for us and is a good fit for us. Now, there is another kind of part of customer behavior that's changing again. So don't worry, sales guys, you won't be out of a job. It's not all about marketing anymore. We have to make all that information available. But because all that information is available, sometimes we want to cut to the chase and get someone to give us a demo and to select what information is pertinent to our customer journey. So now it's more about helping and not about selling. But be clear on your ultimate aim for your personas. Okay, that's the foundation. Know your customer, know your value proposition, and be clear on what your purpose is for the website. Once you've got that, now we can start plotting that journey. So take your personas and think about the problems that they've got. Then think about the buying cycle. And I was going to get a picture of this to show you. I've not got one, but take a breath. The buying cycle.
Can I just stop it for a second so you can take a breath? We've got quite a few people making some comments, which would be nice to see. Ashley's popped in. Hi, Ashley. He says he's sorry he's late, but he likes her examples. We've got Anna Maria saying, yeah, great, lovely examples. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
lovely examples.
From Anna Marie. And we've got from Stephen. Yeah, he's relating hard to your speeding ticket option.
Well, every time I then went to visit that company in Liverpool, it was always, I've got to go to their office again. And it was purely because of that speeding ticket.
So it's created an association, a bad feeling in the brain, which is, it doesn't make you want to go back there. So clean language engagement with your customer. Absolutely right, Waggy. And I'm just thinking about my website, and now, just having heard what you said, I need to go back and just take some words out, I think.
Oh, I don't know. Vanilla Heinemann blue and gold sheet. I don't know what that is. But I learned that buying cycle with spin methodology. So that's how I learned, which is particularly for B2B and for big ticket purchases. But buying psychology doesn't matter whether it's a pair of shoes or it's a big piece of capital equipment. You still go through that cycle.
Just let you know, because I've done a lot of sales. Spin now is quite a dirty word, and I know everyone learned it a long time ago. So when I'm listening to you talking about the pains and all the rest of it, I never think of it like that anymore. I think about, what do they need? How can I help them? So you end up with the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just something about the mindset, when we go in looking for pain, and it's different maybe when you've got a marketing hat on as a sales hat, but your behaviors then represent, I'm looking for your pain. And it's very different to an intent of, how can I help you solve your problems?
Well, I think, if I can't, sorry to interrupt you, but I think spin shouldn't be a dirty word. So I did a course for spin selling first, and I went away thinking, it's all about pain. And that's where I kind of started creating my messaging. Then I did the spin for marketing course, and just having that extra time to think about it made me realize that I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the sad face, when actually, when I did it for the second time, I realized the messaging has to be all about the smiley face. It's all about the help and the need. So I absolutely understand where you're coming from. You have to understand the pain to turn it round so that you're giving the customer that smiley face. If you talk about pain, then you become a kind of quite negative and bad news kind of merchant. People don't smile when they see your brand. If you talk about the solution, if you talk about making things easy and making your customer's life easy and the happy side, then you become the brand that gives solutions and are more happy. So I absolutely agree. Do not focus on pain, but be aware of it so that you know what you're bringing and how you're helping.
You mean like giving the answer without stating the pain itself? So instead of like the stereotypical TV ad for like frying pans or something like that, are you tired of X and Y and Z as a problem? We can solve that. So you go straight into the, this salt, this
food.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to crack on because we're not going to have time otherwise. So, so we've got know your customers, know your value proposition, be clear on your ultimate aim. We've now taken your personas. We're thinking about the buying cycle. So I'm just going to really quickly go through. It's that attraction, the changes over time. Recognition of needs is the next stage. Evaluation of options is the next stage. So you've realized you've got a need. You're now going to be looking for, what is the product? Who is the supplier who can help fulfill that need? Once you've found that supplier, you then move on to resolution of concerns. Is this company safe? Is the management team capable? Am I a big fish to them? Am I a small fish to them? What are their ethics? What are their values? And that's the resolution of concerns bit. Are they a good, safe? Are there any kind of testimonials, customer testimonials? Have other people tested them before and has it worked for them? So that's that resolution of concerns bit. And that bit goes straight before the decision. Okay. Now, it isn't linear. People kind of go all over the place. And as I said in a post today, it's not always the person who's got the problem, who's looking for the solution, that's completing that customer journey, because they have to bring other people involved. And so you have to make sure, because what we're going to do next is we're going to list every question that persona needs answering through each stage of the buying cycle. So write them all down. There might be 100, but get them all down there and then keep them, because you can do something else with them, which is great for marketing next. But Make a list of all those questions. So if it was a dress, for example, because I know we're talking business to business, I want to know the size, I want to know the material, I want to know the delivery date, I want to know if it's a brand I trust, I want to see reviews to see if other people have bought the dress, did it fit them, was it uncomfortable, things like that. All these things. Is it ethical? So to write down all the questions of what somebody might have about your product or service, every single one along the buying cycle that you can think of. Okay, good. Now, focus on those key journeys. Which are the ones that are more important, that are going to deliver the sales that you want and the leads that you want? Okay, now stop. Hang on a second. Before you start plotting this on your website, the journey does not start on your website, does it? The journey starts somewhere else. It might be that they've been to a search engine and put a keyword in. So we need to think about that. We need to think about the keywords that you're optimizing your site for, the language that you're using, and where you're going to direct them to on your website. It might not be the homepage. It might be another landing page. But think about where your customers are coming from to get to your homepage. And this is where your value proposition is really important, because you have to give them on your homepage what they expect to see. If that first part, and this is where so many customer journeys go wrong, if that first part and they land on your website and they can't tell what you do, and that whatever the message they've found that's attracted to them, if it comes to your homepage and that's where you're directing them, if you're not giving them that message, they're going to be confused and they're going to go somewhere else. So if I'd clicked on an ad for that dress on Facebook, as they're always targeting me with lovely dresses. If I click on that and it takes me to the homepage of that brand and not directly to that dress, I'm going to think, I can't be bothered searching. And I'm going to go back to Facebook. So make sure that where you're directing them to is right, and make sure that your homepage really clearly states your value proposition and how you help. Another example of that, I used to work for a foundry machine manufacturer. So big pieces of kit that went into foundries, dirty, gritty places, lots of spark, loads of energy. That manufacturer, the marketing manager at one point thought it was a good idea because it was one of their important parts of the sale. They thought it was a good idea to put a tree and that green, environmentally responsible message as the main part of the homepage. The first, you go to an equipment manufacturer, the first thing you see is a tree in a field. It's the wrong message, because that's resolution of concerns. That's way down in that customer journey. We need to know your value proposition at that first piece of that journey. Okay, that's where we need to be on your homepage, not at resolution of concerns, because that you kind of jump in the journey and it makes no sense and you're going to lose people. Okay, so you're thinking about where the journey starts. You've got all the questions and all the information that you need to provide along the steps of that journey to get to that decision. Okay, we can start plotting to get there. It's got to be simple, it's got to be accessible, logical, and direct. As we've said, it's not always linear. So if people are going off to look at resolution of concerns, they're going to see your About Us page. They want to know what your values are. They want to see your meet the team, the management team. Are they capable? You need to make sure you're bringing them back to that journey, or you're going to make sure that your ultimate aim is on every single page. Think about where that resolution of concerns is. It's just before decision. So if the last concern is the management team capable, then when someone opens up that nice little bit about your MD, do they then have a button to say, let's start the conversation, fill in our inquiry form, book a demo now? Because that's where, this is the biggest one where websites fail. People put up customer testimonials, the About Us page, news pages, meet the team. All of these things are resolution of concerns, that one step before decision, and there are no CTAs. Okay, so this is what you've got to do.
CTA?
Sorry, a call to action, and that's your ultimate aim for the website that you've decided way back at the beginning. It's book a demo, phone us, send an inquiry form. You've got to do that at those resolution of concerns pieces. Okay,
Can I just interrupt you 1 second? I mean, don't worry if you can't get through all this, because we can come back to it. There's always so much more to say.
Okay,
But
pretty much,
yeah. Alan's asked, well, actually, a couple of questions. Ashley's asked a question, whether we can
let me go back.
Podcast.
I saw it. Here we go.
That's his buying journey. So
it's this one, yeah.
I think it's a very good question, and yeah, why not? We should do. We've got all the recordings.
Yeah, we have downloaded all the audio recordings to do that. We've just not got around to it yet.
We'll do it, Ashley. Good prod, thank you. And Waggy's said, do not forget referring customers. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, very good.
Absolutely, because that's the first stage, isn't it? If somebody's referred you, and then you probably will go to the homepage first. But if, for example, if it's a promotion and it's such a bad, so many people do this, they'll create a promotion on social to get your attention, but the link will be to the homepage. But when they get there, the image from the ad, the text from the ad isn't on the homepage. And you've completely broken the journey.
Yeah.
They don't understand where they are. There's a complete mismatch. So if you are creating a promotion, even if it's for one of your products, you might not want to send them to that product page, because what you use in the promotion probably won't be what you put at the header of that product page. So you might want to create a landing page to keep that really smooth. It's all about smoothness and taking that grit away and giving what is expected.
Yeah. Don't make people think extra or do extra work to find what you want them to find.
No one's got that time.
What do you think of Alan's question?
Yeah.
Are we talking about service provision here, or product, or both? It's both. A product is a service is a product. Is the question, how do I beat Amazon? Not necessarily in a business to business. Well, it depends actually what your product is. And I used to sell capital equipment. You can't buy that on Amazon, and you can't buy it off a website either, because it's usually kind of custom built. But I think with most B2B, there might be a few things, spares and things that they could put on Amazon, but majority obviously aren't. And could you beat Amazon? I mean, Amazon have got
join them, don't beat them.
Yeah, choose your battles, man.
Yeah. There's certain giants you're not going to bring down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Anna Maria. I think you're absolutely right. You should. This is an evolving process. We've only, how long have we been going? Probably about 4 or 5 months, long enough to get it onto podcasts for sure. But thanks for the nudge, because that is a very good idea and something that we do want to do. Chris has gone, but he's going to catch up. So just in the last, literally the couple of minutes, I know you've got loads more to share, but we can come back to this and do part 2.
No, that's pretty much everything. So just, if I'd leave you with any of the things, just really, really quick. Know your customers, know your value proposition, know your ultimate aim of the website. Take those personas, list all the use cases, every question that they've possibly got, then choose your key journeys. Then plot your customer journey map, A, B, C, D, E, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, buy, or connect, or send a message. Remember, the journey starts before then, and always add everything. That's everything, really. Remember that the resolution of concerns bit comes straight before decision. So make sure that your About Us pages, etc., don't fail in that journey. Take them to the next step. And then, with all those questions that you've created, the 100 and whatever questions, keep them and start writing blogs about them. They ask, you answer. Every question that your customers will have, you can create in a blog, which will be great for search engine optimization and helping your customers make that decision. There you go. Absolutely. Yeah. This is your community and this is for you. So please do get in touch. And if you have any other questions on marketing or the customer journey, let me know and we'll help. Until then, thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening to me. And next week it's Sarah. So we'll see you then. Thank you so much.
Thanks all. Have a great week, folks.
Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.